Mahava and blessings. So in this video, I am going to be talking about Venus and what her frequency and her energy is asking us to awaken in this moment on the planet. And when I say that in this moment, I don't say now. I don't say the year that I'm recording this, which is 2022. It could be 100 years, it could be 200 years, it could be 3 years, 5 years. But in this moment, no, and it can be even more because she's going to be asking this of us more and more. So the reason why I want to do this video is because I've had many questions asking me why is it so important to understand Venus, and what does Venus mean for the divine feminine? What is the Venus lineage, the rose lineage? All of this, what does it really mean, right? I mean, if we ask ourselves, what does that mean, right? What does the Venus lineage mean? So let's just understand a little bit the names that have been used for Venus. So the Egyptians would call Venus Hathor, the Romans Venus, the Greeks Aphrodite, the Phoenicians Ishtar, Inanna. So we can see that there have been a lot of names of the divine feminine very connected to Venus. Venus is a frequency. Okay, it is believed that the letters, the Aramaic letters, the 22 letters of Aramaic created the universe, created the planets, created the zodiacal archetypes. And especially for those who are really connected or follow the teachings of the Christ Mystery School, the Christ lineage, we do understand that biblical astrology and the cosmic intelligence of the planets and of the stars is very connected to this lineage. So it's part of the teachings and part of the understanding. A lot of the prophecies were received through reading the planets, the movement of the planets and the stars. So when we just say Venus and we talk about Venus on a very tangible level, Venus is beauty, Venus is creation, Venus is creativity, okay? Venus is abundance, and Venus is divine union. So Venus is connected to the heart center. And if we go deep into Venus in a more profound and mystical meaning and experience of what Venus is also a planet who teaches us initiation. All of the planets will teach us initiation. The moon, for example, teaches us the innate initiation between soul and the physical body, right? Because the moon represents how we can heal our karma. That's what it represents, because the moon represents our soul embodied in a physical body. So the more we learn how to cycle with the moon or understand the moon with the zodiacal archetypes and how she dances with these zodiacal archetypes for healing and for contraction and expansion, the more we can even start to heal our emotional bodies, our energy bodies. So when it comes to Venus, Venus is different. Venus, feminine planet as well, is the bringer of light. Actually, she was called Lucifer, right? Which means bringer of light. Now, the reason why Lucifer is connected to Satan is because he was a bringer of light, and then he went towards the opposite realm, which is the bringer of darkness, and they started to call him Satan, right? So Venus, on a very mystical level, she is connected to the awakening of the heart, and she is a bringer of light. That's what she does. And this is the reason why a lot of these goddesses, or a lot of goddesses had the name that connected to this planet. Remember, this is a frequency, and we can't get away from this frequency. Planets affect us, okay? So in this frequency, she's very connected to the creation code. She's connected to anything that has to do with creation and the infinite possibilities that we have to create. And so this is what she is teaching us right now. She's very connected to Mother Eve, and Mother Eve, the Garden of Eden, gives us the wisdom to create, because we are in this duality planet, this planet of polarity, but she gives us the wisdom to go beyond that, which is like the first manifestation of tantric tradition right there, to go beyond duality. And she gives us this possibility by allowing us to access and to see our infinite potential for creation. So this is what Venus does. She brings light. She's a bringer of light so that we can create and not destroy. So, in this planet and in this incarnation, we cannot get away from the different energies and entities that are always, controlling us, trying to control us. It's part of this. It's not just I'm in this body and then that's it, right? So as Venus teaches us by bringing in the light, she teaches us our infinite potential to create through love, through beauty, through understanding. This is how we start to expand into the higher chakras. And I'm just going to explain this a little bit. So if we look at the Star of David, we can see that the triangle pointing down is connected to the negative energy, and the triangle pointing up is connected to the positive. So we would have the feminine and the masculine. Now, negative does not mean bad. It just means it's a polarity. So what happens with the energy of the downward facing triangle, that negative polarity? That negative polarity absorbs and absorbs and absorbs energy, okay? And if all we do is absorb, we cannot expand. So this is when Venus comes to teach us that in order as well, I mean, she has many lessons, in order to expand in our infinite possibilities of creation, we need to find a balance and understand the difference between our needs and our desires, and also to transcend sexuality and live in sensuality. Okay, now when I said transcend sexuality, I'm not talking about intimacy. I'm talking about seeing the world through our reproductive organs, through the lower chakras. Okay, if we only see the world through our lower chakras, we will continue to create a karmic cycle of everything that we have done in this life and past lives and our lineage, our ancestors. So if we see the world and create only through our sexuality, we're only creating through these lower chakras. So Venus comes and she purifies this sexuality. And I'm not talking about intimacy, okay? This is something different, remember. I'm talking about sexuality as reproduction. Okay, that's how I'm talking about sexuality. So when she comes and purifies our sexuality, this turns into sensuality. And I'm not talking about sensuality of being sensual, no. I'm talking about sensuality of being able to perceive the world through all of our senses, all of them, and not just the 5, we have more, and to be able to create through all of our senses, okay? And this is embodiment, right? This is using the whole body, the whole chakra system and beyond, the whole energetic body, spiritual body, physical, mental, and all of these bodies to create and to understand and to see how you perceive the world and what you are receiving from the world. So what happens when we purify the sexuality, right? The creation. And I am talking about the Kundalini energy, the serpent energy, and many of you who know me know that I'm fascinated and I work with this energy a lot. So this energy in our physical body needs to expand. It cannot just receive, and contain, because the more it contains, the more it will push down. And when it pushes down, at some point, it will just be creating with a lot of the elements and energies that we have stored in through many lifetimes. And I'm not just talking about the beautiful energies, but also the very negative and toxic ones, right? So she needs to explode. She needs to come up. She needs to ascend. And so the moment this energy ascends and she goes into the heart chakra, which is the Venus, then we will expand. Expansion takes place in the heart chakra. That's the only place expansion can take, that can manifest in the heart chakra. So when we learn how to when we're awakening this serpent energy, and I know that there are many ways to awaken the serpent energy. I mean, we even awaken the serpent energy when we do exercise, but beyond the physical, when we awaken and allow the serpent energy to transcend and enter and penetrate the heart, this is when we will be able to access the codes of Venus. Okay, so Venus is love, right? And it's not love that has a word attached to it. It's not unconditional love or partner love. It's just love. There is no word. And in the teachings of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, Yeshua used to say that do not pronounce the word love unless you actually understand that love goes beyond all of the definitions that we have created of what love is through our human experience, right? That's beautiful, isn't it? So this is where we start to expand ourselves. And I know that a lot of you have heard about the dragon energies happening now, and I do really, I'm fascinated about the dragon energy. The dragon energy, this is the dragon energy. It's a higher octave of your serpent energy. It's when the spiritual kundalini, the dove, and your physical kundalini, your serpent, meet and it becomes the dragon. And so this is what Venus is wanting to awaken. Now, a lot of times you will find, and a lot of you who are really connected to astrology, now what I'm talking about right now, you could use it in astrology, but this is frequency. I'm talking about frequencies. I'm not just talking about Venus and the planet and what sign she's in. I'm talking about the manifestation of a divine frequency, of a frequency that affects us as humans, because we are always co-creating with everything around us, above, below, everything. We're connected, right? So if you were to read in astrology, you would see that Uranus is the one that's connected to sexuality. Uranus is connected to Kundalini awakenings, forceful Kundalini awakening, especially if we haven't had one, right? So at some point in our lives, when maybe between the ages of 34 and maybe 42, if you will probably have some type of Kundalini awakening, and this is connected with the midlife crisis, etc. And it all has to do with just Uranus activating us. But Venus is different. Okay, Venus is the purification of this serpent energy. She is showing us how to bring this energy into the heart center so that we may be bringers of light, just like she is. So all of the beautiful men and women and light beings, Yeshua, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, that are connected to the Venus lineage are bringers of light. This is what they practice. They are bringers of light, and they transcend just the sexual kundalini into the sensual creation kundalini, and transcend this into this dragon energy, this powerful energy that shows us the infinite potential of creation. Now, in Kabbalah and very ancient mysticism, the dragon energy is the highest and most powerful energy that can exist in humans and on the planet, because dragon energy is connected to Leo energy, so it is connected to the king and the queen. And if you study biblical astrology, we start with Virgo, the virgin, who goes and meets, she goes on a journey of evolution to unite with the king and Leo and become one, right? The Sphinx is the virgin and the lion. So it is the unity of the masculine and the feminine, the virgin and the Christ, right? So if we go through this and we go into this Leo energy, Leo then holds these codes of this dragon energy, which is the most powerful energy that can be manifested through humans and on the planet. Okay, and the dragon energy, like I said, is the pure infinite potential of light, to be able to create through light, to be able to give birth through light, to be able to love through light, even go into intimate union, sexual union with your beloved through light. And these are the teachings of Venus. And Venus ultimately is even more and more bringing us back to understand the creation code of Mother Eve and all of the wisdom that she has given us, by introducing us to that beautiful apple that as humans we wanted to bite, and understanding how to transcend the duality. Now, when I say transcend duality, I'm not saying that we will see everything as unity. This is a process, and this is a process that we go through every day. But what I am talking about is to be able to transcend the notion of feeling separation, of understanding polarity through unity. And these teachings of Venus are very powerful. Even all of the schools of light conception worked with Venus. This is the frequency that needs to be worked with when you practice light conception, because she is the bringer of light and she purifies all of the creation codes that we carry that are connected to destruction. And one of the things that Venus teaches us when we go on this path of understanding her frequency and embodying her frequency, is that when we go against love and creation, we are actually feeding Satan, feeding all of the dark energies, feeding all of the energies that want to keep us stuck and keep us as slaves on this planet. You know, those energies that don't want our crown chakra open, that they want our crown chakra completely calcified, right? So that we don't connect with the arc line, which is where our destiny is. So this is the importance of Venus. And to be able to reach this ecstasies of light and of love, it is very important to be in a path of devotion, to be in a path of surrendering, to be in a path of receptivity, right, to receive, to be in a path of knowing when we can correct our experiences and behaviors. And I do like to use that word correct, even though it's frowned upon a lot in the New Age circles, but it is correct. To correct something is to make it better, to fix it. That's what correct means. So we can fix certain things in our lives so that we can align with the energy of creation. And ultimately, we can just wake up every morning and say the first mantra, today I create, I do not destroy. I know that sometimes we don't like to bring in the no in the affirmations. For me, no is very powerful, but you can say, today I connect with creation. I create through love. I am a creator. I am a bringer of light. And so this can help us to, in the moment that we need to make decisions, that we need to connect and communicate with people, the moment we have to bring creativity into our lives. So Venus is a very, very powerful frequency right now. And this is why more and more people are gathering on a personal level or in groups to practice the Venus gates. We are looking at the Venus gates right now in our Mary Magdalene priestess and priest training. So we're going through all of the gates of Venus. And what we usually do on these gates is practice devotion, through embodiment, either through frame drumming or through dancing or through yoga, anything that is connected to the body, because Venus needs to use the body, because like I said, we do have these energy centers, and to be able to transcend and go beyond the sexual nature of Kundalini and bring her into her sensual nature, we need to be in the body, because the body will always tell us what we're feeling, right? The body will always tell us what is happening in our life. You don't need to look in the mirror. You just need to be in the body to understand what is happening. And so this is part of the embodiment practices of Venus, and the chanting, of course, and the connection with the etheric realm is beautiful. We need to be in the body to be able to understand what is happening. So what we want to do is expand the energy. We want to expand our serpent energy. We want to expand the dragon energy. And for this to happen, we need to be in the heart center. And the heart center will be able to receive from the higher realms and the lower realms. When I say lower, it's not better or worse, it's the lower realms. Connect in the heart, expand, purify. And this is the process of light that Venus is bringing. Now, Venus connects us to the light that does not have a shadow. It is the light of creation, the creation of the Allah, of Divine Mother, Father. And this light of creation does not have duality. And this is the light that Venus is bringing in. And of course, this is why in all of the schools of Immaculate Conception, this is the frequency that we work with. I hope that you have enjoyed this little talk in this video. I know that many of you have written me and have asked me, and if you have any questions, please write to me and ask me. And have a blessed day, and really just open up and receive these beautiful creation codes of Venus. Ahava.